Go there. Let them go.
Everyone has their limits. But what happens when that limit is pushed too far and a true fighter decides it's time to fight back? Let's watch and find out. This man stepped into the ring dressed like a Shaolin Kung Fu master, rocking the traditional outfit. But there was just one problem. His opponent was a trained MMA fighter, younger, stronger, and way more skilled. At first, the so-called Shaolin master put on a show, flashing fancy moves. But in reality, he was only embarrassing himself. Watching him fight, it became painfully clear. He wasn't a kung fu master at all. Instead, he looked like someone who had never trained a day in his life, just pretending to be skilled. And in the end, reality hit hard. The MMA fighter finally struck back, and let's just say, this master got exactly what was coming to him. Up next, a classic case of confidence versus reality. MMA coach Nam Fon was challenged by a self-proclaimed kung fu expert who had no idea what he was getting into. Enter Kai Tran, strutting into the arena, full of confidence, ready to show off his so-called skills. But the moment the fight started, Nam Fon took over. His striking was sharper, faster, and completely outclassed Kai. The relentless pressure left him wide open, vulnerable, and exposed. As the fight neared its end, Fan only turned up the heat. The so-called Kung Fu master was utterly overwhelmed, and in the end, he had no choice but to accept defeat. Up next, another overconfident so-called Kung Fu master meets the exact same fate. He strutted into the gym, full of confidence, ready to challenge a professional fighter with a strong karate background. But let's just say, things didn't go as planned. Holland put an internet troll on blast, sharing a conversation with someone who actually believed his jiu-jitsu skills were superior to a UFC veteran. And if that wasn't bold enough, he even had the audacity to challenge him online. Then came the second slide, the moment they met in person. And let's just say, a fight between a real fighter and a keyboard warrior? Yeah, it went exactly as expected.
They ask you what you want to do in high school, ladies and gentlemen. Tell them you want to wrestle. Just in case you ever get a dickhead like Kevin Holland.
Another UFC fighter, Shawn Strickland, found himself in a very similar situation. Known as one of the most outspoken fighters in MMA, Shawn has never been afraid to speak his mind. And naturally, that rubs a lot of people the wrong way. As expected, plenty of internet warriors couldn't stand his unfiltered style.
There you go.
Oh. But here's the thing. Talking trash behind a keyboard? One thing. Facing a UFC fighter in real life? Completely different story. And someone had to learn that lesson the hard way.
There you go.
Oh.
That's nice.
The guy in this next video? Yeah, he got an unforgettable wake-up call from Shawn. It didn't take long for him to realize messing with a guy who literally fights for a living? Bad idea.
You wanna run your mouth, you big man. Be a man about it, you big man. I'm little. Me. Go. Come on, you pussy. Throw that. Let that go.
Well, no one got finished, but good workout, boy. You got my respect. I don't need money, bro. I was talking.
But Shawn wasn't done. He even took on 2 internet trolls at once, both challenging him at the same time. And incredibly, Shawn held his own, keeping up with their attacks and turning what should have been an unfair fight into something that almost looked even. Still on the topic of UFC fighters, up next, we've got a clueless street brawler who thought it'd be a great idea to walk into an MMA gym and challenge Chris Curtis. At first, this guy was full of arrogance, convinced he could hold his own. But reality hit fast. Curtis completely dismantled him. The UFC middleweight could have ended it instantly, taken him down, caused serious damage. But instead, he chose to teach him a lesson. And let's just say, it's a lesson this street fighter won't forget anytime soon.
It might be borderline retarded, so maybe we should
Former UFC bantamweight champion Sean O'Malley was invited to a podcast, one that also doubled as a barbershop. Seemed like just another casual interview, right? Well, not quite. By the end of the show, things took an unexpected turn. Sean ended up sparring with the podcaster. And as you'd expect, the result was exactly what we all saw coming.
God damn it.
What's that?
Now, let's talk about Ronda Rousey, former UFC bantamweight champion and one of the most dominant female fighters in MMA history. Back in 2015, Rousey made a surprise appearance in an arena alongside comedian Tom Kelly. And as you might have guessed, things didn't end well for him. Kelly was completely humiliated. But hey, at least he walked away with a valuable lesson in what it really takes to fight. A random guy walked into a boxing gym, overflowing with confidence, convinced he had what it takes to take down the coach. But the coach? Yeah, he wasn't having any of it. Instead, he decided to give the guy a quick and brutal lesson in humility. And it doesn't stop there. A similar story unfolds with another overconfident challenger.
Hey. Let's work. Come on. Get up. Come on. 30 punches. 30 punches. 30 punches. Huh? 30 punches.
This time walking into a Brazilian jiu-jitsu class. He boldly told the coach that his fighting style would dominate jiu-jitsu in a real street fight.
Now your ass is side kick. Oh, and we're done.
And finally, we have a classic case of confidence meeting reality. A self-proclaimed amateur MMA fighter walked into a Kyokushin karate dojo to challenge a seasoned master.
Go.
At first glance, the amateur looked physically superior. Bigger, stronger, more muscular. But it didn't take long to see the truth. He had spent more time building muscles than actually learning how to fight against a true master.